What's going on, guys? Bengal King here, coming back at you with another video. Obviously, this is a super popular trend on the web right now. How old am I, dude? Let's relax. I sound like I'm 90. However, if you guys have not seen these tier list videos, basically what it is there are a number of different tiers, S being the best. It's on a letter scale, basically. A, B, C, D. Usually there's F. This particular one does not have one. And then S is like, best of the best, like A++ or like elite, blah, 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 blah. Today, we are doing the NFL starting quarterbacks tier list. There's no way to say it. You guys are going to get really, really mad at me pretty much no matter what. And if I have one guy that you guys would consider to be ranked in a different spot, y'all are going to hate me. It is what it is. No hard feelings on my end. I'm ready to ruffle some feathers in a huge way. If you guys want to see more videos like this and maybe with NFL teams, that'd be fantastic. Let me know down in the comments section below. But NFL starting quarterbacks, again, you guys should be familiar with the way this works. At this point, if you're not, A, B, C, D, just like it would be in school. And then S, of course, being the very, very best. So we're going to start with the best of the best. This should be the tier with probably the least amount of guys in it. And we're going to start with Patrick Mahomes in here. I'm going to go left to right, and then we're going to decide where they go. Some of them will be blocked off because you guys can't see them. But Patrick Mahomes, came in, was a rookie in 2017, finally started in 2018. He started one game in 2017 at the very end of the season. And, of course, lit up the NFL, record-shattering year from such a young quarterback. So Patrick Mahomes, to me, is absolutely an S-tier quarterback. Of course, this year, he's going to have fewer weapons to work with. No Kareem Hunt, obviously. Tyreek Hill is certainly a question mark. But I think Patrick Mahomes is certainly an S-tier guy. Really, really solid player. So that's where he goes. Next up, Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers, to me, for a while, I think was a really underrated guy. I don't think people realize just how good he was. He does have some good weapons. His offensive line has never really been anything crazy, and he has been consistent and productive. However, I don't think that Phillip Rivers is as good as a guy like Patrick Mahomes, but I think he's in just the next level down. So I'm going to put Phillip Rivers in the A tier. Basically, average is going to be like B, C, and D is going to be trash. So B is maybe slightly above average, C is average, and then D is below average, we can say. Case Keenum, he's had some good seasons in Minnesota. Didn't really do all that much in Denver. And now he's in Washington. They traded for him. He could be the starting quarterback there. They drafted Dwayne Haskins. It'll be interesting to see how much playing time he gets. But to me, I don't think Case Keenum is an above-average guy, really. I think he's kind of like middle of the road. He can be above average, but I think usually the production level you're going to get is below average. I think Case Keenum is a below average quarterback. Next up, Derek Carr. Oh, people have been so mad at me. In like the last 3 videos, I've talked shit about Derek Carr. But you know what? Derek Carr is one of the most overrated players in the entire NFL. Raiders fans seem to love him for some reason. But when you look at advanced metrics, which people don't like, but he's top of the league nearly in danger plays, and a danger play is classified as anything where it's a lack of awareness from the quarterback, where they put the team in harm's way by making bad decisions, and he was top of the league nearly in interceptable passes, which speaks for itself. For those reasons, I think Derek Carr is a below average QB. I think his awareness is not too good, and he doesn't put up a whole lot of touchdowns. People point to his weapons. Good quarterbacks can get by with little to no weapons. We've seen that, time and time again. Aaron Rodgers, Andrew Luck. I mean, of course, like nowadays, Andrew Luck has T.Y. Hilton to throw to it, but that's one. And then Aaron Rodgers has Devontae Adams. But, I mean, good quarterbacks make worse receivers really good. Derek Carr, to me, not anything special. Eli Manning. People are going to be annoyed at me. I'm going to say he's below average. I don't think Eli Manning is a trash quarterback. I think when you look at what he's worked with over the years, with no running game prior to Saquon Barkley, only Odell, and he's been, playing sparsely over the past few years. Odell's a beast, obviously. Eli hasn't had much to work with at all. I think he's definitely seen better days, but I don't think he's a trash QB. I don't think he's bottom of the league. I just think he is below average. Next up, Alex Smith. Honestly, I think this goes without saying. He is the definition of average, or maybe slightly above average. He doesn't really do anything special. He's safe with the football. He'll keep you in games. That pretty much is the Alex Smith meta. He is going to be in the B tier for me. Next up, Nick Foles just signed a massive contract extension. I really want to put him in below average, but I think that situationally, at least over the last few years, he's been tremendous in big spots. So just like Joe Flacco, kind of, where he was insane on that playoff run, I think you had to give him some props for that. And I'm going to give Nick Foles some props as well. I don't think he's nearly an A guy, but I am going to nudge him up into that B tier range. Carson Wentz, another Eagles QB, or I guess he's current. Nick Foles is former. I'm going to put Carson Wentz in the slightly above average as well. I think he is, and I'm a Giants fan. You can call me biased, whatever. This guy loves a good interceptable pass. It gets dropped all the time. There's no QB in my mind that I've seen that gets as lucky as Carson Wentz does. Now, he isn't bad. He just is a little bit too dangerous with the football, and I think that puts him a knock below a guy like Phillip Rivers that's consistent and solid, and injury concerns are a big thing with Carson Wentz, but I do think he's above average. He is young. He's going to develop and get better, so we're going to keep him there. Rain Dakota Prescott. Oh my God. I want to put him in D so bad. I don't think he is, though. I think he's C tier. The reason that I think he is the C tier guy is that he doesn't do anything particularly terrible. He has become more safe with the football. He just isn't a good passer, really at all. Not too accurate, doesn't really have much touch. His arm is average in general. But just like a guy like Deshaun Watson, people are going to hate that as well. I don't think that Dak is terrible. I think he offers you a lot as a running quarterback, and that kind of seems to be the way that NFL offenses are going. He is fairly safe with the ball. I mean, he basically runs as like a spread-style QB. So, Rain Dakota Prescott, Dak Prescott is going to be in the C tier for me. Mitch Trubisky. Mitch is an odd one because he's another guy that's a game manager. I don't think he does anything particularly well. Bears fans, the idiots, think he's the second coming. He's not particularly good. He's not particularly bad. He misses some easy throws sometimes. But I think he does show up sometimes and does have some good games. I want to put him in the B tier, but I just can't say that he's as good as a guy like Wentz or as good as a guy like even Alex Smith. So I'm going to put Mitchell Trubisky, in the C tier, and we're going to move on to Josh Allen. Josh Allen, what an athlete. Really tremendous athlete. Had a decent rookie season. I think did pretty well without a whole lot of weapons. He's going to be in the C tier for me, though. I think he's a below average guy at this point. I think he could maybe develop into being a little bit better. He just still is raw. He's, more power than finesse. Just needs to develop touch and accuracy. And, he's done a lot with a little. So I am giving respect to Josh Allen. That doesn't mean he's a B tier quarterback for me right now. I am going to stick him in the C tier. Kirk Cousins is pretty much the definition of a slightly above average. Depends what Kirk Cousins you get, to be honest. Sometimes he's fantastic. Sometimes he is terrible. He is going to be slightly above average for me. That's the Kirk Cousins range. Aaron Rodgers, I'm not going to spend too much time on. I've talked about it before. I think Aaron Rodgers is probably the most talented QB in NFL history. It's going to be maybe a hot take, but Aaron Rodgers is an absolute stud. I think he has dropped down a little bit, but when you look at Aaron Rodgers, you can't help but say he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and one of the best we've ever seen. So he is absolutely S tier for me. Matthew Stafford, I'm going to go in the B tier. Stafford, another guy that I think he's pretty good. Never been great. Never lived up to his hype, obviously. He was the number 1 overall pick in 2009. Really solid player at times, kind of bad at other times. Really clutch guy. I think Matt Stafford can win you games, and I think he's a knock above some other quarterbacks. Drew Brees is S tier, one of the best to ever do it without question. Drew Brees is incredible. Would have won MVP last year if not for Patrick Mahomes. So Drew Brees is an incredible talent. He is absolutely S tier for me. Matt Ryan, I'm going to put in the A tier. Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. Again, I don't think anything particularly amazing. Former MVP, and that's why I am giving him some credit. Has had a ton of weapons, though, and he's taken full use of them. I'm not going to knock him for that. He's played well. Another guy that was a top pick, not number 1 overall. I want to say he went 8th in '08, something like that. He was another top 10 pick, I believe, but pretty good player. He's going to go in the A tier. We're running out of space, but Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston's got to be a C tier guy. Winston's a guy that I don't really see anything from him in terms of consistency or being a smart player. He is way too dangerous. He just kind of throws it up at times. But he's a good player. I think fires his team up. I think there's a value to that. But as a true passer, he is below average, so he's going to go in that tier for me. Cam Newton. Cam Newton's an interesting one, right? I'm going to go Cam Newton in the A tier. I think that's going to be a little bit controversial maybe. But when Cam is on, Cam is fantastic. And you can tell he was injured last year very badly, especially as a quarterback with a shoulder, which seemed to be what it was. Huge issue. Cam Newton, another guy, incredible athlete, incredible playmaker. I think he does show off some tremendous arm talent at times. Obviously, he's got a cannon, but he does deliver some awesome balls. Great touch, great accuracy at times. So Cam Newton is A tier for me. Jared Goff. Jared Goff does not do anything particularly well. I think he's a product of the Sean McVay system. However, I'm going to give him slightly above average. He could be in the C tier easily. If there was an F tier, which I wish there was, I tried to look into how to add one. I couldn't, because this list would be a lot different. I'm forced to add guys who are kind of like not exactly in the same tier, because I'm almost using D as an F. But Jared Goff is in that range where maybe I would separate him a little bit. I think he's maybe a little bit underneath Wentz, Cousins, and Stafford, and then maybe Smith, Foles, Goff, or something like that, and would be the C tier. I don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo, I want to put in the A tier. Hasn't showed it yet. I'm going to put him in the B. I think Jimmy Garoppolo came into the 49ers when he was on the field, took a terrible team, won 5 straight. He's never lost as a starter. I think that's pretty incredible, especially considering what 49ers team he took to win 5 straight after being traded. So just haven't seen enough, haven't seen him be healthy. We're going to put him in the B tier. Russell Wilson is absolutely an S tier guy. S tier quarterback for sure. One of the best in the NFL. An incredible talent. Russell Wilson is just tremendous. Does everything right. Tremendous arm, accuracy, touch. Is incredible at keeping plays alive. Russell Wilson is fantastic. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's a weird one. I'm going to be nice here. I'm going to stick him in the B tier. I think he's another guy that did a lot with a little, like Josh Allen. I think he's just a little more developed at this point. Now, do I think he's as good as any other guy in the B tier? Probably not. But I think he does have the potential to be higher. Obviously, these guys are going to move around after the 2019 season is over. But I'm going to be nice to Sam Darnold. I'm going to say he's a knock above these other guys, and I think his potential makes him at least in the B tier for right now. Josh Rosen, I want to put him in the B tier as well because I think he's a good player. But even though he worked with the worst offense in the league last year, he just didn't show enough. I think he's going to be decent in Miami if he's given the option. They'd certainly have better weapons and a better offensive line, but he just is in the slightly below average here at the moment. Rosen was not exceptional last year. He was very, very bad. Baker Mayfield, I want to put him in the S tier. He is not. I'm going to put him in the A tier. Baker's an incredible talent, set the rookie record for passing touchdowns. Another guy that did a lot with a little. You look at that offensive line, yeah, they were good on the inside. No tackles at all, really, and no wide receivers at all. You look at Jarvis Landry, he's a decent player. Antonio Callaway is certainly a question mark. David Njoku was a guy that really has never had great hands in the NFL, and Baker Mayfield made Brashad Perriman look like a stud. Baker is an incredible talent, incredible leader, a really good player. Could definitely see him in the S tier one day, just not right now. I am going to stick him in the A tier. Deshaun Watson. To me, he's like an upgraded Dak Prescott. They basically are like the same player to me. I think Deshaun Watson has an absolute noodle and almost no accuracy, no poise at all. Has one of the worst deep balls around. But he does showcase some incredible athleticism. He is pretty safe with the football, so he's not really going to get you in a lot of danger, even if he does have terrible accuracy in general. I'm going to stick him in the B tier. I've been incredibly critical of Deshaun Watson. People want to talk about him being one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's not even close, I think, is the reality. I wish like he and Sam Darnold would be C tier guys for me if that wasn't where it is and if there was an F tier. But Deshaun Watson, I think he's good enough to keep you in games. He's a game manager. He's not an incredible talent. He's nothing special. Ryan Tannehill's got to be D tier for me. I'm being pretty harsh with that, as I was nice to Deshaun and Sam Darnold, and a little bit mean to Josh Rosen and Jameis Winston and Mitch Trubisky, and a little bit nice to Eli maybe. Ryan Tannehill, I think him not ever being healthy and on the field is a huge shot to his ability, because he honestly is the definition of average. He could be easily C, and when he's at his best, he's certainly B tier, but he's never on the field. He's never healthy. He's a backup now in Tennessee. He's just not a very good player. He's over 30. He's never really developed. I think he is a trash can of a player at this point. I'm being mean there because he is a guy that is probably the best backup in the NFL, but I mean, it is what it is. Lamar Jackson, slightly below average. Really good athlete. Really fun player to watch. Another incredible talent, at least from an athletic standpoint. Just a little bit raw as a passer right now. He could certainly work his way up to B within the next year, but Lamar Jackson, just a little bit raw. Gonna have to see how he develops. He is in that C tier. Ben Roethlisberger is A. Some people are probably going to want him to be S. Led the league in passing yards last year. Had Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. He's a good player. He really is. He's smart. Sometimes gets a little bit dangerous. He definitely has lost a step. Was he ever an S-tier guy for me? I know, two-time Super Bowl winner, but probably not, I think is the reality. Big Ben, I think A is the perfect tier for him. Andy Dalton. Oh, do I be mean to Andy Dalton? I might be mean to Andy Dalton. Oh, I can't. I'm going to put Andy Dalton in the C tier. I'm not a Bengals fan. Obviously, if you guys have been subscribed to the channel for a little while, you definitely know that. But Andy Dalton's another guy that's just not very good, but he's not terrible. I was super mean to Tannehill. Bottom line is somebody's got to go in the D tier. Why is there no F? That's what I'm wondering. But Andy Dalton, kind of a guy that probably would be in D if there was an F. But it is what it is. Andrew Luck is S tier. When healthy, he is incredible. Showcase that this year. Everyone's like he's bad because he's not playing. Which, I mean, there's an argument there. Because if you're not on the field, how helpful can you be to your team? I do get that. But Andrew Luck, when he's healthy, is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL without question. Marcus Mariota. He is... Oh, Jesus. I think he's slightly better than Jameis Winston. Slightly better. For that reason, he's going to go in the B tier. Another guy that's a bit of a game manager. Not that good in general, but not that bad. I think he is a guy that's going to keep you in games, but maybe not win you games. I know that's like a cliche thing to say, but I don't think he's a tremendous playmaker. Again, his weapons haven't been incredible in Tennessee. That's going to change this year. He's another guy that hasn't really been able to stay healthy, but Mariota with A.J. Brown and Corey Davis, Delaney Walker in the twilight of his career now, but we'll see what they can do. I mean, he's got some weapons now. He's almost got no excuse. He's got a great offensive line. Mariota, we'll see what you can do. Blake Bortles is trash. I'm not even going to spend time on that. Robbie Bortles is terrible, and then that means Tom Brady, of course, one of the best players in NFL history, is absolutely S tier. That is my list. Again, I wish there was an F. And there's probably a way for me to edit it, but I basically broke it down, and I told you guys who would be down a little bit, who would be up. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I'm sure this is guaranteed to trigger at least a few of you guys, so I'm excited to see how that works out. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.